What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It is the day after the Super Bowl, and yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are this year's Super Bowl winners. Surprise, surprise! They had a great team coming in. A lot of people were hating, including myself. We want to count them out, but we just can't count them out with a high ankle sprain or not, which is worse now. It's actually a grade 2 high ankle sprain, but Patrick Mahomes will be ready for the offseason next year and for training camp. But recap here. Kansas City Chiefs won. A lot a lot of questions are up in the air, right? From Rihanna being pregnant, which I got confirmation, uh, from the questionable holding call towards the end that pretty much sealed the deal for the game, and the Gatorade color. Was it orange or was it purple? As you see the title or the thumbnail of the video, it was actually purple. So congratulations to those of you who bet purple, which I think 0% of y'all did. But at the end of the day, Kansas City won. It was a great game, and that's really all we could ask for as football fans. I don't like either team. Can't stand the Chiefs. Can't stand the Eagles. Can't. I could go on, but it was a good game, and it came down to the fourth quarter. Now we can confirm, or we could, confidently say that the NFL is not scripted. Ain't that right, Vince?
Yeah, man, it's maybe a little bit scripted, but
Un
not all the
poquito,
way. Not all the way.
just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. So this game was really good. The Philadelphia Eagles came out with a hot start. They go out there. I think they're ahead of the game, or going into what was it, halftime or the third quarter? It was 21-7 or 21-10, something like that.
I think so. I know they were up by like almost, if not two touchdowns, almost two touchdowns.
But as everyone knows, you cannot count out Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. With or without Tyreek Hill, with or without their top three wide receivers, which two of the three came back and were participating. Was Juju had a great game. So did Kadarius Toney. He had a great game as well. So kudos to them. They get themselves a ring. Unfortunately, my boy Jason Kelsey, he didn't pull through, but he does have a ring already, so you don't feel too bad there. Now let's get right to the point, right? Everyone wants to talk about that controversial holding call towards the end. This is the biggest game of the year, the biggest, right? Do you make that call? Do you make that close call towards the end to seal the deal? Me personally, no. You don't. You don't do that, right? And it continues. We continue to see these refs. I don't want to say controlling the game, but making these calls that have a huge impact that basically determine what the game outcome is going to be. So without that holding call, the Eagles would have gone. The Chiefs would have kicked a field goal. More than likely, it would have been made. Eagles would have gotten the ball back with
A
58
minute
seconds.
30, as yeah, maybe something like that. They would have had quite a bit of time than the 8 seconds they had.
And I believe they would have had at least one timeout left, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
that potentially ruined everything. And that holding call, you look back at it, it was really bad. And I feel really bad for cornerback James Bradbury. That's the guy who got the holding call against Juju. I feel bad for him, right? Because now, kind of like that Bengals game, you want to blame it on someone. You want to blame it on that guy for holding. And even though there's a slight tug in the jersey, which there was, right? And if you want to get down and dirty in the nitty gritty of it, it's a holding call. It's a holding call, but something that slight in that big of a moment, you're not supposed to do. And this is being said all around the sports league. And what is how do you resolve this, right? This has been an ongoing issue all season long, prior to this season as well, with officials making these calls that determine the game. Now these officials, they are part-time, right? So can this possibly work if you make these officials full-time, getting better, studying film? I mean, the NFL has money to do so. They do,
Yep.
right? So why keep officials part time, having part time effort? That's the way I see it, because there's too many games out there. Hence the 49ers and Eagles championship game, where that was not a catch, which that whole butterfly effect would have
Oh
happened, and
yeah.
Brock Purdy would have gotten injured. I could go on and on about that, but we're not going to discuss that. But so stuff like that could be avoided, right? So we could have real games. Now, I don't know if you heard about this, Vince, but in the XFL that's starting this week, by the way, for those of y'all who don't know. So if you are going to miss football, don't worry. The XFL is here. I'm actually going to the San Antonio Brahma game on Sunday. Go Brahmas. But in the XFL, every single play is reviewable. and every ref call, flag, whatever you want to call it, penalty
Is
is
challengeable?
challengeable.
Oh,
No limit. You can challenge whatever you want. If you see that is unfair, they want to play football, is what the commissioner said. We are here to play football, and this is what we're going to do. So I'm super excited about that, and hopefully the NFL could take some notes if this is successful for the game, because this could also prolong the game an extra 30 minutes to 45 minutes at the very.
yep.
But in other words, great game to end the season. Of course, it has to end in dramatic fashion with a call towards the end. Vince, what are your final thoughts on the Super Bowl?
I just think like the kind of in and out wheel route that Juju was running, it looked like a made up route that he was trying to do. It looked like he was trying to go out to the sideline to get a ball so he could stretch out for the touchdown. But then he changed it because Bradbury was holding onto his jersey, you know. In my opinion, I don't think that was a foul. I don't think that was a penalty. But it happened. I mean, Bradbury said that he did hold, he tugged on the jersey, but like you said, at the height of the game and where it was at, you have to just bypass that. Nobody's going to be like, oh, that was a holding call. Why didn't you call that? Because the ball sailed over Juju's head by at least 2 to 3 yards. It was uncatchable, in my opinion, even with the tug. I don't think Juju had the acceleration to get there. So I think they should have bypassed it. They should have waived it. But that's my opinion. I wasn't going for a specific team to win it all here. I did have the bet with Reed on the line for the bracket, so Reed won because the Chiefs won. But I mean, it is what it is. I didn't have any personal strings attached, so I thought it was a good game from what I watched. Halftime show though,
Oh, Super Smash Bros.
yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Super
Man,
Smash. That was awesome. That was phenomenal. I mean, the halftime show it was okay,
yeah,
right? But the scene, it looked like Super Smash Bros, which that was pretty cool. And we got teased to the max when Rihanna was like, "Oh, I'm bringing a special guest. Who you
yeah.
bring? Who's she bringing? Baby Bump, yeah." And I did get it. I said, "Hey, dude, she might be pregnant, right?" And my fiance is like, "Hey, you can't say that. Yeah, it's a lady.
Right.
You can't say stuff like that." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure that's a baby bump."
Like
uh,
that bump was too solid, man. I don't know.
it was, and you look at her face, and she's pretty fit, right? And then she rubbed it, and I was like, "Okay, that's 100% a baby bump,
Confirmed.
confirmed. Conspiracy theory confirmed. This is all scripted." But yeah, no, I want to go back to that point. I want to give kudos to Patrick Mahomes for being aware of that situation with Juju and that hold, because it takes an experienced quarterback, an extremely smart quarterback, to do so. He saw that Juju was there. He saw that, and he purposely threw the ball that way, just so you have a higher probability of that getting called, which it did, and in the end result being a win of the game. I also want to give kudos to Isaiah Pacheco, dude. Oh, that guy is a freaking stud. Oh my goodness, has a bright, bright future with the Kansas City Chiefs. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to continue to run with a two-headed monster back there, because we all know that Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's out of there. He's gone. So let's see if they stick with Jet for one more year. If not, it's Pacheco, but he is not a pass catching back, which they utilize very much. So good for them. Like I said, I feel bad for the Eagles, and I really feel bad for them next year, because did you know this, Vince? Nick Sirianni, he's going to be put up to the test, because there's a possibility where he loses both his offensive and defensive coordinator. That's crazy. So
Yep.
we're gonna see what type of coach that he is. Is he gonna be a Matt LaFleur and just totally like boom, done, gone, untalented? Or are we gonna see a coach like Cal Shanahan and do the impossible and get out there? Or Pete Carroll that gets to go out there with the guy that everyone wrote off, with Geno Smith, comeback player of the year. What type of coach is Sirianni? He's been in the league for 2 years. I don't like him because the first thing that came out of his mouth was rock, paper, scissors, and that's just not me. What do you think? You got a lot of high hopes for Sirianni?
I do not. I don't think he's that generational coach that can stick around for 10 to 20 years, because he's not a guy to make other coaches better. He has coaches that made him look better. But in my opinion, I don't think that he was a good coach. He just was the face of the coaching staff. So the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, those are the guys that were making the Eagles look so good, as well as the players. You know, you got to give it to the players. The players
Right.
played the script super well from what defensive offense wanted to do every
Whoa,
single game.
whoa. What
Well,
script?
yeah,
What script are you talking
wrong,
about here,
wrong
Vince?
use of words. I'm saying the gameplay script.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, the first 10 plays they come out with. Yeah. But no. But I think those coaches are well deserving of a head coach position or something like that. But definitely Nick Sirianni is going to have a bad year next year.
It just reminded me. Have you seen that movie Longest Yard, right? When Ralphie was, I can play quarterback, give me the quarterback, right? And then he grabs the ball and he tries to throw it, it's just dead. That's Jalen Hurts right there. And I need to make that a TikTok, honestly. That should get some views and some likes. But that's hilarious. We're talking about it too. Even the commentator said it right before that the very last play of the game where they're going for a Hail Mary, going for it all, right? Okay, so Jalen Hurts drops back. He has a lot of time in the pocket. And the commentator said it himself. This guy does not pack a cannon. He doesn't, right? And I was like, he has to, right? He looks like that type of athletic ability. He goes back there. He launches the ball a good 30 yards. That was bad. That was really bad. I don't know. I don't know if the ball was tipped or what
No,
happened.
it wasn't, bro. Yeah, I expected it to go farther, but he was like from the scene from Napoleon Dynamite. He's like, "You want to see me throw over those mountains?" And then he just he doesn't get close, bro. So it was
Oh,
pretty bad.
jeez. Yeah, that's hilarious, man. But yeah, I mean, those are some of the biggest takes we have for the Super Bowl. So if you're watching this right now, what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl? We want to hear you guys. We are going live right now, and we'll be more than happy to discuss whatever you guys are thinking right now. How do you feel about the holding call? How do you feel about Patrick Mahomes being the first African American quarterback winning two of the big games? First one ever in history. That's awesome. Good for him. And as much as I dislike the organization, I don't have anything but respect for Coach Reed. That guy is an awesome human being, awesome character, and he deserves it. One heck of a team. I can't wait for Kelsey to drop off. I can't wait for that line just to drop off as well. I don't like the team. I just don't. I sound like a hater. I know I do, but it's part of my nature. It is. Uh, but anyways, going forward, this is my bold prediction for the rest of the season, or for going to the next season. I don't think the Eagles make the bowl again. I don't. I don't think it's a winning organization. Sorry, I don't think so. Did I think y'all got lucky? I think y'all got fortunate. Y'all had a really easy schedule. I think it was the easiest schedule in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Right in front of the Cowboys. So congratulations, but I don't see them pushing forward. And I think I've seen that the Niners are playing against the Eagles next year. And I can't wait to see the Niners play with a healthy quarterback. And there's a lot of memes going out there, especially from the Cowboys fans. So if you guys are Cowboys fans, enjoy it while you can, because this next year hopefully comes by a lot quicker than you think. But they're like, oh, that's how the Eagles are playing against someone who actually has a QB or someone who can actually throw the ball. And Patrick Mahomes can't throw that ball. And when he ran for the 26 yards, which is the longest rush in his career, that was pretty crazy. That was amazing.
Yeah, man, and that was on a bum ankle too. I didn't expect that from him. I thought he was gonna slide down after getting the first down, but he kept going, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
I felt like he was juiced up, man. He
Yeah,
had to be
he
juiced
had
up.
to. We were
Oh man,
talking about it when we were watching. There's
yeah.
no way he came out after halftime with no pain.
I know, especially after that run, he just gets up and walks back.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, this
yeah.
guy, this.
He took like 5 steps, and he was like, "Yeah, I just did that." And he's like, "Oh wait, I'm supposed to be hurt." And he started walking. Oh.
But no, kudos to him. They played very well. Good game. Good for the Chiefs. I want to change the scenery. That's what I want to change the scenery. The Rams were posers. Horrible team, horrible organization. But Chiefs, they're going to be competing for quite some time now. They're going to be competing against the Bills. They're going to be competing against the Bengals, hopefully, but they're going to be there for at least the next 5 years out there. Nestor, what's going on, Nestor? Appreciate you being here and joining us live. Now, I do want to talk about something. So, Vince, do you have anything to add on here?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna make my way too early Super Bowl
Oh,
prediction.
geez, already? What time is it?
Because you asked me that right after the Super Bowl when
I
I had a
did.
few drinks in me, and I was like, huh, I gotta think about this. Can't sound stupid here, but I gave it some thought. I definitely think the 49ers, sadly, I'm a Seahawks fan, but sadly, I think the 49ers have a great team, great coaching staff. They're going to overcome a lot, even without D'Amico Ryans and some of the players that they might not be able to get back. But I think they'll go to the Super Bowl. But the AFC, I have one team that I think can do really good in free agency as well as the draft because they are a young team. They have a lot of young guys, and they have a decent coach, a new head coach. So I think that the Jaguars can possibly make the AFC side for the Super Bowl. But that's way too early prediction. Of course, we got to wait for everything to settle down, all the dust to settle. So that's way too early. But I'll get you another prediction as soon as summer comes around.
Supposedly, okay, this is not coming from me. I can promise you that. Supposedly, the script has been released for next year, and it's going to be the Bengals and the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Niners winning by 11 points, and Nick Bosa being the MVP of the game. Supposedly, okay, that's the word on the street right now.
that sounds like 49er TikTok right there, man. I don't know.
It's not for. I promise you, it's not 49er TikTok. I promise you. But I'm just saying that's what's being said right now. Now I do want to get into something a little deeper that is not being talked about in any network on TV. I'm talking about ESPN, NFL Network, Fox Sports, anything like that. But it is being talked about a lot of on social media platforms such as this. So I want to discuss it in the beginning of this podcast. When we first started, I said I do not want to make this political. I do not want to make this religion based. I don't want to make this anything to offend anyone, right? But I remember today, I was thinking about it. I remember today that you guys are tuning into this show to hear our opinions, right? And not just of what the flow is, what everyone's going through. So, this is my opinion on a very touchy subject, which I know a lot of y'all are not going to agree with me. And I also know that some of y'all out there will agree with me, and that's fine. We are all made to disagree with one another, and that's what makes this podcast special. That's what makes everyone special. So, I'm going to talk about Damar Hamlin. Okay, I'm going to talk about Damar Hamlin. I'm not going to be discussing on whether that is really him or it's not him, because I know that discussion is out there with that Photoshop P on his neck, that tattoo, and it goes deep in there. Him or not him, I'm extremely disappointed. I lost a lot of respect, if not all respect, for Damar Hamlin. Super glad he's alive. Super glad he's going to continue his career in the NFL. A talented young individual. He's our age, so talented guy. Wish him the best and nothing most. But what he decided to wear, and I'm sorry I did not come prepared. I don't have a visual of his jacket. I think I could search one up real quick, but what he decided to wear was I feel offensive. It's right here. I just searched it up really quick, and
First
it's
thing that pops up, yeah.
first thing that pops up. I want to go ahead and open this image in another tab so I can show you guys. There we go. Get back to you guys. Sorry for that. But I want you guys to see. I really want everyone out here to see what I am talking about, just so I don't seem like the crazy person.
Yeah, and I personally wasn't there for the beginning of the Super Bowl. I had a prior commitment to be at, so I have no idea what Age is talking about right now. So I'm ready to see this too, because I haven't been on social media since the Super Bowl ended.
Really? You haven't?
I haven't now. I got home, fell asleep like a baby, and I had class all day today.
Oh, wow. You're a busy man. You know that?
Yeah, man, everybody is.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I got it right here. Let me bring it up. Bam. So this is what Damar Hamlin was wearing. So there you have the cross with what's supposed to represent Jesus Christ with some type of zombie face. And okay, so I find this extremely offensive, right? And I'm not saying that everyone has to worship a certain God or be Christian. Everyone has the right to do their own. But when you have millions, and I do mean millions of people that kneeled down and prayed for your health to get healthy from this God who you're just mocking. This is straight blasphemy, in my opinion. I don't like this whatsoever. I'm extremely disgusted by it, and I know that you don't care what my opinion is, but I just hope, I know this is offending a lot of people out there, a lot of individuals like myself. I'm not going to speak for Vincent because everyone has their own yeah, their own voice. But I don't like this at all. I really hope he does address it because he knows that hundreds of cameras going to be on him. He's on the biggest platform in international TV this day. He knows that everyone's going to be looking at what he is wearing, but yet he decided to wear something like this after just, coming from this horrible incident that you're getting paid millions to do, that you're fighting for your life, and somehow some way you came back and you're out here and you're living, you're breathing, you're talking, you're out here healthy, and you're going to extend your career, and you're wearing something like this, just mocking uh a faith, a religion that spent so much time investing back into you to be healthy. This is truly, in my opinion, disgusting. I don't like this, and I really hope he does address it. But I just lost a lot of respect for Damar Hamlin. Like I said, very talented individual. I know he's going to be making a lot of money in the future. I know he has a bright future ahead of him still, but I hope this does get addressed.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. And then there's a part of me that is like, well, I want to hear from him. So I always want to hear from both sides, just like you said. We want him to make a statement off of this. But yeah, this is disrespectful. He could have worn any type of outfit, but he chose to wear this. And he probably got it specially made for this. So this is a statement from him, whether he tried to make it as disrespectful as possible or he tried to make something and it didn't turn out well, but he still wore it. So I'm not 100% sure. He's got to come out with this because I know there's a lot of people that are angry. I'm pretty angry at that. That's not right in my opinion. I don't have the words right now to say because they're going to be bad, but I just think that that's really disrespectful. I agree with you, AJ. I don't appreciate that. Hope he has a great career and stuff like that, but from what I'm seeing is all this fame that he's getting from the tragic accident that happened with him. It's getting to his head a little bit, in my opinion. But I'll leave it at that. I don't want to elaborate any more on that because that's just my opinion. But yeah, I just lost some respect here. I'm glad I wasn't there for the beginning of the Super Bowl because that would have ruined my mood.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty disgusting. Like I said, like you said, there's two sides of every story, right? So there's a
Yeah.
story behind that jacket, and hopefully he does come out and say it. And with it becoming a big deal on social media platforms. So I'm talking about podcasters, people on YouTube, social influencers, TikTokers. They're the ones who are talking about this. And this has already caused a huge impact on the Christian community who watch football, who enjoy football, like myself. I enjoy football very much so. But this was a little much because, we in the time in our vlog, we even said that we're saying out prayers for Damar Hamlin and for his family. And it just kind of feels like it's been mocked, like he's above it all, being able to I
Defy the
guess
odds, I guess. Yeah.
correct. So I find that just very unhealthy. Like I said, everyone's their own individual, right? They could believe in whatever they want to believe in, but disrespecting something where you're going to be televised, national television, hundreds of cameras on you, thousands of millions of people watching you, you're making a statement, and the statement that you made did, is just not good. You know,
Yeah,
bottom
man.
line.
When you're on that type of stage, you have to think about a lot because not only is it what you say, it's what you wear, it's what you put your money towards in foundations and all that stuff, what you spend it on, what you do outside of the locker room, off the field. Like when you have this type of fame, everything you do is scrutinized, and he should know that by now because he's had cameras on him for the past what month since that incident happened.
Yeah, ever since he was able to walk.
Yeah, he knows, man. He knows. So this wasn't something that was like, oh my bad, sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody. It was choreographed.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know if he's getting paid by someone to do it or if it was his own choice. But like I said, two sides to a story. I'm not excited, but I'm waiting for the response.
correct. And I'll be waiting too, and we'll keep you guys updated too on our social platforms. If you haven't yet, we do have a Discord which you are very active on. So right there in our banner, in our YouTube banner, there's a little Discord logo there. If you click on that, it sends you an invite to our Discord, which we get to talk about. You guys can talk to us in a voice chat, in the text chat, wherever y'all like. We got tons of different categories on there. But those are our thoughts on the Super Bowl. I hate to end off on that note, but you know what? I don't want to go with the flow, right? What my dad told me, don't be that beach ball that flows in the ocean, right? You
Taking
create your
away.
own path. You don't follow the current. So this is what NSP is. This is our opinions of what we thought, and we gave you everything with coming from the Chiefs side, the Eagles side, to Rihanna being pregnant, to Damar Hamlin, to Nick Sirianni, to everyone out there. Those are our opinions, and those are our honest opinions. Okay, you won't get us anywhere else because we're not everywhere, but you will get a lot of different opinions out there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Vince, do you have anything else to add before we sign off for the day?
Nothing, man. Just hit that subscribe button, look at all of our content, and stick around because we got a lot more content coming as football progresses into the off season.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of different categories. We got a lot of stuff brewing up, and hopefully, we get into the XFL as well because I'm super excited about San Antonio having a team. Y'all let us know in the comments down below if you want us to cover that. But until next time, keep on grinding.